the enduring allure of the unicorn, fact, fiction, and fascination. The unicorn, with its striking beauty and spiraling horn, has long been a symbol of purity, grace, and power. But where did this powerful image come from? Is this creature purely a product of human imagination, or is there some truth behind the myths? To understand the enduring fascination the unicorn holds over us, we need to delve deep into history and culture. Early whispers of a one-horned beast. From the earliest civilizations, accounts of one-horned animals have populated tales and manuscripts. We're not just talking about glistening white horses, but a range of creatures that, in some way, inspired the unicorn legend. Ancient civilizations, like the Greeks and Romans, already mentioned beasts with this peculiar characteristic, often attributing healing powers and an untamable nature to them. Interestingly, the first formal mention of something resembling the modern unicorn seems to come from the Greek historian Ctesias of Cnidos. Around the 5th century BCE, he described a wild animal from India, the size of a horse, with a white body, purple head, and blue eyes, possessing a single horn on its forehead. This description, while fanciful in detail, likely referred to an Indian rhinoceros. But the seed of the myth was planted. The unicorn, in the Middle Ages, purity, power, and panacea. Throughout the Middle Ages, the unicorn gained even more prominence. In Europe, it was often depicted as a pure and untamable being that could only be captured by a virgin maiden. This image elevated it to an almost divine status, associating it with purity, innocence, and even Christ in some religious interpretations. The unicorn's horn, in turn, was considered a panacea, believed to cure diseases and neutralize poisons. The quest for this magical horn led to a thriving trade in unicorn horns, which were actually narwhal tusks, a marine mammal with a long, spiraling tusk. These tusks were sold for fortunes to nobles and kings, eager to obtain the unicorn's supposed powers. This practice only reinforced the belief in the existence and miracles associated with this mythical creature, a cultural icon that continues to inspire. Even with the advancement of science and the exploration of new continents, the unicorn legend persisted. Its image was incorporated into noble family coats of arms, tapestries, and works of art, solidifying its place in the collective imagination. It transcended simple fantasy, becoming a cultural icon that represents the unattainable, the beautiful, and the extraordinary. Today, the unicorn continues to be a powerful symbol. It appears in movies, books, games, and even fashion trends, proving that its magic remains alive. Whether as a mystical companion in fairy tales, or as a symbol of empowerment and uniqueness, the unicorn resonates across different generations, adapting and reinventing itself. Fact versus fiction. Unraveling the myth. The truth is, the physical existence of the unicorn, as we know it, is a fantasy. However, its existence in the realm of ideas and culture is undeniable. It reminds us of the human capacity to dream, to create, and to assign meaning to beings that inhabit only our most fertile imaginations. Perhaps the true secret of the unicorn isn't in its materiality, but rather in its ability to inspire. It invites us to believe in the impossible, to seek beauty in the world, and to value purity and uniqueness. It's a reminder that, even in an increasingly pragmatic world, there's still room for wonder and magic. Real-world inspirations for the myth. The figure of the unicorn is deeply rooted in various cultures worldwide, from classical antiquity to medieval tales. References to single-horned animals adorn texts, tapestries, and other forms of art. In ancient Greece, for example, Authors like Ctesias described wild creatures from India with a single horn, often associated with medicinal properties. These descriptions, while possibly based on distorted sightings of real animals like rhinos or the okapi, helped shape the image of the unicorn we know today. During the Middle Ages, the unicorn ascended to an even higher status in Europe. It became a symbol of Christ, representing purity, grace, and power. Its horn was believed to have the ability to purify poisoned water and cure diseases, making it an object of great value and desire. Nobles and kings collected supposed unicorn horns, which were actually often narwhal tusks, a small Arctic whale with a long, spiraling tooth. This fervent belief in the unicorn's magic influenced the art, literature, and even medicine of the era. But, putting aside the symbolism and legends, a crucial question arises. Is there any factual basis for the existence of unicorns? Modern science has never found fossil or biological evidence of an animal exactly as described in the myths. However, that doesn't mean the idea of a single-horned animal is completely implausible. Nature, in its vast creativity, has already produced creatures with unique characteristics that could have inspired the legends. As mentioned earlier, the rhinoceros, with its prominent horn, is one of the most likely candidates to have contributed to the formation of the unicorn myth. Ancient descriptions of wild animals from India strongly resemble some rhinoceros species. Another animal that may have influenced the legend is the narwhal. The long, spiraling tusk of male narwhals, which can reach up to 10 feet in length, was frequently traded in medieval Europe as a unicorn horn, further fueling the belief in its existence. Beyond these explanations based on real animals, there's also the possibility that unicorn legends originated from rare or unusual sightings of known animals. For example, a deer or another animal with a deformity in the growth of its antlers could have been interpreted as a creature with a single horn. Nature sometimes surprises us with genetic variations and anomalies that can create individuals with unusual characteristics, capable of sparking imagination and giving rise to extraordinary stories. The cultural evolution of a myth. Another interesting perspective is that of cultural evolution and the transmission of stories over time. Narratives about fantastic animals were often passed down orally, from generation to generation, and could undergo alterations and embellishments along the way. A vague description of an unusual animal in a distant land could transform, when retold countless times, into the majestic and magical figure of the unicorn we know. Human imagination plays a powerful role in the creation and perpetuation of myths and legends. It's important to emphasize that the absence of concrete proof doesn't necessarily imply absolute non-existence. The natural world still holds many secrets, and new species are discovered regularly. While it's highly improbable that an animal exactly like the mythical unicorn ever existed, the possibility of creatures with similar characteristics having inspired the legends cannot be completely dismissed. The line between reality and fantasy is often thinner than we imagine. The unicorn's enduring legacy. Throughout this discussion, we've explored the historical origins, cultural symbolism, and possible factual bases behind the unicorn legend. While modern science offers no evidence of its existence as we know it in fairy tales, the influence of this magical creature on our culture and imagination is undeniable. Unicorns continue to enchant and inspire us, representing ideals of purity, healing, and mystery. So, the next time you see an image of a unicorn, remember that it's much more than just a fantasy animal. It's a legacy of centuries of human stories, beliefs, and aspirations, testament to the enduring power of imagination. And who knows? Perhaps the magic of the unicorn lies precisely in what it makes us feel. The hope that the extraordinary can, indeed, exist.